Welcome to everything you always wanted to know about Excel, but were afraid to ask. This is Lesson 1, Excel Basics.
Part 1, Getting Started in Excel.
It's important that we're all on the same page throughout this course, and that you know what I'm talking about when I use certain terms. That's why we start out with the different parts of a workbook. So up top, we've got the Quick Access toolbar. That allows you easy, quick access at all times to a couple of key tools. Notably in this screenshot, we have the Save, Undo, and Redo buttons. But that section is customizable. If there's something you find yourself using a lot, you'll be able to change what's up there so you can access it easily. Next, we have the ribbon. Now, most people probably call this the menu bar or the tabs. Microsoft calls it the ribbon. And so because of that, that's the terminology I want everyone to be familiar with, and that's what I'm going to try and use. Underneath the ribbon, we have the formula bar. That's where you'll see whatever you've typed into a cell. We have the expand formula bar, because sometimes what's in the formula bar is going to be a little too big to fit in this little space, and that's going to allow us to just drop it down and be able to see a little better. And the name box, which we won't talk much about until later on in the course. This next one you probably know. Now, any worksheet is made up of columns and rows. Every column has a header, that's the A, B, C, D, E, etc. that you see across the top of the worksheet. And every row has a header, that's the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 that you see down the side of the worksheet. Where a column and a row intersect, that's called a cell. Now, if you click on or otherwise select a cell, that's going to become your active cell. You can tell which one it is by looking for this dark outline around it. In the bottom right-hand corner of the cell, you'll see the fill handle. We'll talk more about that later. Over on the bottom, this is another one you're probably familiar with. On the side, you have a vertical scroll bar, and underneath, you have a horizontal scroll bar. And then below both of those, there's a zoom control for zooming in and out. Opposite that, we have our worksheet navigation tabs. Now, every file in Excel is called a workbook, and a workbook can be made up of one or more worksheets. In this example, we've got 3 worksheets. They're all defaulting to those generic names, Sheet 1, Sheet 2, and Sheet 3. And you can add your own worksheets by clicking the Insert Worksheet button. And finally, you've got our view settings. Now, there's 3 different views available. There's the normal view, and that's what we'll spend probably all of our time in this class in. But next to that, you've got the page layout view and the page break preview. And that's our basic parts of a workbook. Next up, let's talk about how to enter data into a workbook. Now, there's a couple different ways to enter and edit data. There's cell entry mode. Click on a cell and just start typing. There's also cell editing mode. Now, when you're using cell entry mode, if you click on a cell that already has data in it and you just start typing, it's going to overwrite what's already in the cell. You're not able to add to it or edit it directly in cell entry mode. So we use cell editing mode. You can double click on a cell and then highlight or edit wherever you need to edit within the cell. Or you can click on a cell and then hit F2 to enter cell editing mode. And the same goes for using the formula bar. If you have a cell selected, you can click up in the formula bar and edit it directly there. Now, in addition to entering and editing data, there's a couple different ways to navigate within Excel. When you're entering data, it's best to use Tab and Enter. So you type the data you want into the cell and click Tab to navigate to the next cell to the right. If you made a mistake or need to go back, click Shift-Tab to navigate to the previous cell to the left. And when you're done with a row, hit Enter, and it will return you to the first cell on the next row. When you're viewing data, it's okay to just use the mouse or arrow keys to get around. The reason we don't do this when we're entering data is because when you use the arrow keys to go between columns, then when you hit Enter, you're not going to be able to get directly to the beginning of the next line. It's just going to take you down one row in the same column.
Thanks for watching. Check out our next video to learn sorting and filtering in Microsoft Excel. And don't forget to like and subscribe to our YouTube channel so you don't miss out on new Excel lessons, tips, tricks, and shortcuts.